Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Dell's Ducks Weekly here on YouTube. My name is Matt Panier, joined by Dell's Ducks head coach Bill Zanaboni. Oh, look who this is once again. Dell's Ducks assistant coach Jake Hibison. Jake, first off, welcome back. How does it feel to be back in the Dells?
Feels pretty good, Matt.
Well, it's great to have you back, and understand you guys are coming off of a weekend. One of those weekends that was off, but not off. You guys didn't play in the MNJHL this weekend, but a couple of exhibition games on the road at St. Mary's. Sound like they both went pretty well.
Yeah, we actually started off on Monday and went down to play NIU, Northern Illinois University, and they're sixth in the region. We beat them 5-2. Traveled down to play ISU in Bloomington, Illinois on Tuesday, and then Wednesday played Lewis University. And then we had Thursday off, Friday practice, and then played Saturday, Sunday up in St. Mary's. And we lost 4-0 Saturday and beat them 3-2 yesterday. So it was good for us to play those older, stronger, faster guys before we head into a pretty big weekend here at the Poppy.
And familiar face on the St. Mary's side. Of course, anytime you see Lewis, you get to see Johnny Schwartz. But you get to see Joey Bauer this time around.
Yeah, we saw Joey Bauer and actually Nick Albergo and a couple other guys that played in the Minnesota League. Luke Bing from Hudson is playing there. So it's nice. I mean, it's always good to see guys move on and be successful at academic and hockey side of college.
Coach Jake, now with your second stint with the team here, you've been on these kind of trips before. What kind of things can you guys take out of these college tours and apply back to the regular season once you guys get back into the swing of things here next week?
Yeah, it's a good test, I think, for a lot of guys. This one especially, I think, was really good for me to kind of get to see the guys, specifically the D-Corps. I haven't really seen much this season, so I've just kind of been following the scores and stuff online. So it was nice for me to kind of get a vibe on where guys fit in going into Rochester. And I think the same goes for Bill, getting to see the forwards, and it's an opportunity to put guys into spots they might not necessarily be in a regular season game. So it's just a chance to see guys in a different light.
So you get that opportunity, you get to see what you got out of guys, and now you have to turn the tables and get ready for what I have dubbed Rochester Week. This is a big one for you guys, obviously. 3 games coming up here. Haven't had the luck against this team yet on the road with the 2 losses out at Rochester. Games that, when you look at the score sheet, probably not as close as the actual run of game went for you guys. I know that both of those games up there, the 4-1 and the 3-1, but really felt a lot closer both times, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think they were both good games, and we pulled our goalie one night, so that adds a goal for them. But I think both nights we've outshot them. They're definitely an experienced team that stays calm in tight situations for 60 minutes. They're very attention to detailed, and their speed, I think, is a huge asset to create some havoc in the D zone. So it's been great hockey. It's fun to coach against teams like that. I mean, 16 veterans from last year back, and they're doing a good job over there of kind of trying to make their stamp on taking over the league this year. And it's our job to try to come in and compete and take some points away from them. And nonetheless, these are the games that you want to be in. These are the games you're going to be in at the end of the year. So it's exciting.
You talk about the 16 veteran players that they have on that team. You guys were a team last year that had about the same amount of players this year. It got cut back to 7. What does it mean for a team to be able to return as many players as they did? And it's not only second-year Rochester IceHawks. It's guys that are in their 3rd year. I think a couple of them might even be creeping in on 4th year. Guys that have been in that organization for a long time.
Yeah, well, I think as a coach, I think you look at it as you got guys in your locker room that know the identity of the sweater and what it takes to wear it day in and day out, and what the coaching staff expects out of you, and the other guys kind of just have to follow. And it's not that it's going to take a coach to sit and yell at them or nothing. It's just the accountability to look around the locker room and understand that if these guys are going through the trenches, then I got to do it with them. And it kind of keeps everyone on the same page, and we were fortunate enough to have that group last year, and knock on wood, we were lucky enough to have that success, and hopefully we'll be fortunate enough to get a couple bounces to bring us back there this year.
And Jake, I know one of the last things before you had taken off here from the team a couple of seasons ago was that series against Rochester where the things kind of changed in the league at that time, I would say. The Devils Ducks came in as sort of an underdog. John Sully Hansen in goal, leading the team through a 2-game sweep of Rochester. What did it mean for you guys at that time to be able to take Rochester down and to kind of flip things toward the top of the MJHL?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty big step forward. From my first year here 4 years ago, coming into the league, there was kind of this aura coming into the season around Rochester from all the other teams and how good they are in their building and how tough they are. And they've always been that way since I've been here, but, I think it was really good for us to just kind of, to take it to them a little bit, maybe get some wins, and then, you realize on any given day anybody can win a game. So it's just, it's a good thing for guys to understand, especially for the guys that made it to the national tournament last year. Once you're on the same ice, the playing field's level. So
you guys get 3 cracks at it this weekend. You'll have one more on the road out in Rochester before the season is up. It's getting into the thick of things now where these are 6 very critical points at the top of the standings. The Lakers doing you obviously a couple of favors with 2 wins now over Rochester in regulation. Puts you within striking distance with a sweep this weekend to take over the top of the standings again. How much is that in your mind? How much are you communicating that to the players? Are you just trying to go in and focus on Friday? What's the message as far as the standings are going?
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to put ourselves in control of our own destiny, that's for sure. It's always tough sitting there watching, hoping, wishing, praying for someone else to do a job for you. So it's, it would be nice to put ourselves back in the driver's seat. But, on the flip side of that, it's, I think we had a great learning experience the last 5 exhibition games, and worried about our systems and what we have to do, and that's what we talked about yesterday when we got back. Is hey, we got 6 big points here at home, but the main thing is we got to worry about ourselves, and I'm sure Rochester will be worried about Rochester. So it'll be a good chess match, and I think the team that executes the best is probably going to come out successful.
And Jake, I know you've been diving right into the film since you returned here on the Rochester games. I caught you guys doing a little session here this past Saturday, just sort of looking over some things. What have you found in those 2 games that you kind of like to key in on a little bit? Do you think that you guys can do better? Are you allowed to tell me?
Well,
in a public forum, or will you save it for Monday? Say those were the changes you made.
I'll say this. They, having said that they've got 16 returners, I think a lot of their systems are the same. They've added a couple pieces that have changed up. I think a couple guys on the defensive side that have changed maybe the dynamic they have on the back end. They've got a couple pieces up front now, but it's just a matter of us executing our systems. If we can execute our systems, we should be okay.
Sam Nelson is a name that we uttered a lot here last year toward the end of the year. It came in with the Minnesota Owls, obviously played in the playoffs. You guys did pretty well to take care of him there. There was that one game in particular where he came in, the game ended up going to the shootout because of Sam Nelson and the way that he changes the game. Got a little bit better of a support system in Rochester, no offense to the Minnesota Owls or anything, but obviously Sam Nelson thriving right now in net. What kinds of things can you go back and look at what you did last year when he was with the Owls and try to do again to him now that he's with Rochester?
Well, we have seen him twice in a Rochester uniform, and I think the biggest thing that we try to expose him on is I don't know how mentally tough he is to battle guys in front of the net. I think he loses his cool, and I think sometimes we can catch him off guard doing that kind of stuff, and I think he made a mistake that every goalie has probably made in their career the other night against Forest Lake with chucking that puck over the glass. But he did it with us. We scored, and and he two-handed Ian Wood, who was sitting in front of the net after, and we get on a power play, and we jam another one in, and it's just we got to stay on him. We got to get in his face, and we got to play a little bit of old school hockey and have some fun with it. And I think he'll, from what he has done, even with the Owls in Rochester, I think his mentality is that he's gonna focus on that more than the puck, and which is a great thing for us. From being a former goalie myself, it's sometimes I watch it and it's too bad because he's a very, very good goaltender. He's athletic, he's quick. He moves really well down low, so it's going to be fun for us, and we gotta make sure we put pucks where he's not, and we gotta take his eyes away as much as possible.
Speaking of goaltenders on the Dells Ducks side, Sandro Ashelman out with a suspension, not going to be able to go with what you would list as the number one goaltender, at least the way things have gone so far this year, coming into the weekend. Jared Young played very well against the Lakers.
Absolutely.
That's why we don't want to get too far into going 1-1A and all those sorts of things, because Younger's been playing at the top of his game as well. Does that change anything for you guys not having Sandro on Friday? I mean, obviously you would probably like to go with him, just being more of a veteran, a guy that's been around the block a little bit more. You get Younger, and you got to still be feeling pretty confident about having him in, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely confident with Jared, and he came in and played great for us last weekend in a big series against Forest Lake, and he's played in Rochester against Rochester, and I want to say it was a 3-2 game, and it's they bounced one in off of the ice, and that's just good things happen when you put pucks in the net. So we're very comfortable with him in net. I think he's itching to get back in a big situation like that, and he's been great for us all year. His mentality is, he's got a little bit of a swagger, but he's definitely not arrogant at all, and he's a guy that wants to compete every day, and he's here to win. So it's nice to have that guy in the locker room.
Jake, on the other side, you talk about the goaltenders, we talk about the guys in front of them, and how well the Dells Ducks have done to keep things away from their goaltender all year. You guys made a little move here over the past couple of weeks to pick up another guy to get in front of that net. It's a guy that you and I have actually seen here at Poppy Waterman before in the Waha tournaments. Dylan Van Sickle, local kid, playing defense now for the Dells Ducks. Tell me about him, what you've seen, and now what you're learning about Dylan Van Sickle.
Yeah, I until you brought it up the other day, I
You vaguely
totally
remember when we used to hang out. Okay,
I do
gotcha.
remember that. I had forgotten about Dylan, but seeing him in practice, I didn't even know he was a new guy, to be honest with you, because it was my first night out there and I didn't know anybody. But I think it was a great opportunity for him over these first 5 games, coming in at the same time as me when everybody's basically on a clean slate on the defensive side with only Hef and Sully back there. But Dylan, I think, did a really nice job this weekend. He's a strong kid for his size, and he's only 5'10", maybe 5'11", but he's very, very solid kid. He's got a heavy shot. He makes a really smart, good first pass, and I think over the course of this season, he's going to be a guy to really watch down the stretch for us.
And another important thing, too, is that he comes in with a little familiarity, having played with Sean Teskey at the Minnesota Iron Rangers, so that helps out a little bit, too, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's it makes things more comfortable for him, and we can put those guys together to kind of break them in, and Teskey can kind of take them aside and let them know what's going on within our systems, and so far it's been great to add him, and going on that trip with. We've been on the road pretty much for 5 days, so it's been good for him to get to know the guys and to get some feedback from him and on what he's looking for, and we're excited to have him for sure.
You guys go on this long 17-game road trip to start the year. You finally get a homestand, and what do you guys do in your free time? You go back out on the road. So something about being away from Poppy. You guys like that bonding experience. It is still in that long run of home games right now. You get through the Rochester series. You start going into a couple more at the second half of the season here in the 2015 calendar year. But before that, you're hosting half of the showcase here, and you get three pretty good teams
Yeah.
out of the Central Division. You're going to be playing against Marquette, who, oh, there's a little history that you guys might remember from last year, the Busch Cup final.
Yeah.
You get the Worcester Oilers, one of the top teams in the league, who played really well here when they played against the Central Wisconsin Saints last year. I don't know if there's something inside the building. We'll find out here in a couple of weeks. Then you get the Illiana Blackbirds, another team that you guys ran into last year. That's going to be a pretty good test to see where the Central stacks up against you guys.
Well, I don't know if it's, I mean, I'm sure everyone will look at it that way. We just look at it as, it's three really good opponents and, teams that have guys that are very dangerous on them. I watched Marquette and Illiana this past weekend just to get a feel for it on our free time to watch some of the Central Division. Haven't seen Worcester play yet, but Val does a great job over there in the program that he runs, and those kids really believe in him and what he wants to be done. So it should be a good test for us, and I think all three teams will be very hardworking, and it'll be fun. It'll be hopefully fun for everyone to get in here and see some new teams and to see how the league is and have some excitement around it for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun hockey. Basically, hockey starting Saturday morning and going all the way through Monday night. It's a good chance for somebody to come on out here and just enjoy a full day of some MNJHL hockey. And something that's really neat is you don't ever get to see the crossover unless it's exhibition or the playoffs. This time you see the Minnesota division against the Central Division.
Yeah.
And there's always that back and forth of, well, the Minnesota division is better. Well, now we actually get to find out how the Central Division hangs in. And last year in that opening showcase, Central Division did pretty well.
Yeah, they did really well, and it's always talk, and that's the best thing about this game is that anyone can win on any given night, and you just got to prepare to play, and you can never take anyone for granted for sure.
And it'll definitely be a few interesting games, but obviously what's on the mind right now here is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week, the Dells Ducks hosting the Rochester Ice Hawks. Chance for the Dells Ducks to make up some ground in the standings and head back to the top of the Minnesota division. These two teams will meet once more after that on the road in Rochester, and that one could be important as well. Guys, good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll catch you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we know the Rochester fans will be coming, and hopefully we see a lot of Dells Ducks fans out here as well and get that atmosphere going here at Poppy Waterman.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Matt.
All right, guys. That'll be it for us, Dells Ducks Weekly. Another one in the books, which means we're that much closer to seeing the Ducks face off against Rochester here from Poppy Waterman Ice Arena. We hope you're joining us. We'll catch you guys next time.